Welcome back. You're listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm Myles McNamara, your host, being joined today by Janet Demeter of Jack's Angels Foundation. And Janet's been sharing her heart-wrenching story of when her little guy was diagnosed with DIPG, which pediatric brain tumor. And of course, because of that came the birth of Jack's Angels Foundation.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that, Janet.
Well, you know, I didn't really fully realize until after he had passed that brain tumors are the leading cause of cancer-related death in children. And DIPG is the second most common one. I think they're responsible for about 12 to 15% of all brain tumors. And when we were going through it, we were told it was so rare, we'd been struck by lightning, and, you know, we were almost stupid to ask. I mean, nobody said that to me, but basically you get the impression you're stupid for wondering why no one invests in the research for these kids. But, you know, it was mainly because I became more and more aware through social media just how many out there were suffering with the exact same thing. And I had to watch over and over, and you know, just before Thanksgiving, one of my favorites that I was watching, his name was little Chad Carr, and just this adorable little kid. He had two brothers, and they were giving him an early Christmas, and I knew what that meant. I knew, you know, he had entered the, quote, progression phase of the tumor when they get the symptoms again, and then they're close to death, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't. Sometimes they try to do irradiation again, hit or miss. But at any rate, so this, you know, I just had a blowtorch behind me to do something about it. I was darned if I was going to just watch these other people suffer through the same pain that we had and do nothing about it. So I began, and this was after our first year in Jack's Angels. It was a really strong desire of me to do fundraisers that supported the arts and education for kids in the community. So we wanted to do these art and music festivals. And I think insofar as creating a wonderful experience and having amazing talent at the festivals, they were a huge success. But as fundraisers, not so much, because people didn't really know who I was, what Jack's Angels was, and what we were about. I mean, now is a really crucial time in raising awareness for childhood cancer in the United States. I didn't know that. We were just underneath the threshold of this pain, collective pain, that has been largely unheard by so many people. And with the same meeting, the same greeting of, you know, the numbers aren't great enough for investors. That's what most people hear with any kind of childhood cancer. They are all categorically marginalized as rare and therefore do not receive attention. Now, when I was, one really helpful group to Jack's Angels has been the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce. They have been not only compassionate and sympathetic, but just generally helpful, helping Jack's Angels have opportunities, such as, you know, just by luck and by chance, I had gone to an installation dinner, I believe it was 2014. It was either 2013. No, it was 2014. It had just turned January, and I had the pleasure of meeting Assemblyman Wilk, who was very taken with the cause. He had taken one of our leaflets and was very moved by what he read. And later that year, at the end of 2014, he passed a resolution through the Assembly, California State Assembly, to have a DIPG Awareness Week at the end of May, the last week, because May is Brain Tumor Awareness Month. And I was so grateful to him. I still am to this day. And because our now Congressman, Steve Knight, was at that time state senator, a year later, and this has to do with 2 trips that I took to Washington, now, and this is not in the press yet, but he's helping work on a resolution that will help nationally raise awareness for these, not just DIPG, although it's named for DIPG, but hopefully open the doors to starting a conversation about cancers with 0% survival rate and cumulative years of life lost, which means, of course, pediatric cancer. So we have 2 major champions for childhood cancer in our local community, and I could not be prouder to have worked with them or to have in some way helped them raise awareness to this disease. So we're looking forward to that, possibly more news about it February 1st. That's the date that I've been given for it to come out in the press. But at any rate, to back up a little bit, so our music and art festivals weren't exactly, have made it difficult to, we haven't been able to survive on that per se. We've been able to give money to and start a DIPG research fund at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. And one of the things that I've learned over time in watching the funding or lack thereof for childhood cancer is to try to start a new trend in philanthropy called what I call funding creativity, and there's more information about it at fundingcreativity.com. But basically to focus on helping the researchers themselves and funding their creativity rather than having it be attached necessarily to a pharmaceutical interest or a clinical trial that's coming out. So many hypotheses are abandoned because there's not money for it. And so many graduate students get discouraged on following their dream when, oh my gosh, there's no money for it, they can't support themselves in it. This is not just in childhood cancer, but in a lot of areas of science. But with our kids, again, I think we need to make a start and start really targeting those research groups that we have right here in California, that's some of the top in the world. So, and after the break, I definitely want to tell you about that.
All right, and we are going to take a break. Again, thank you, Assemblyman Scott Wilk and Congressman Steve Knight, for really stepping up and we only have one segment to go, so when we come back, we're going to talk about a few things that Janet wants to put a bow on, but as well as the portion of the Santa Clarita run called Skip for Jack, and some websites and more information for you to get involved if you are so driven and find out more about Jack's Angels Foundation and the awareness of DIPG. So you're listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back to Aging with Power. I'm Myles McNamara on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, and we are wrapping up an incredible hour with the amazing Janet Demeter with Jack's Angels Foundation and DIPG, pediatric brain tumors. So Janet, I know we've got a short time to say a lot of stuff. So, yes. I mean, I know we have a great Skip for Jack portion of our upcoming Santa Clarita Fun Run. So let's touch on that and some websites for folks if they want to learn more about DIPG and how to get involved.
Yes, absolutely. The Santa Clarita 5K Fun Run is going to be Saturday, February 13th at the Castaic Lake Recreation Area. And I believe it begins at 8 a.m. And the skip, you can do whatever wave of the run you want, whether you're doing the fast run, the fun run. You'll get splashed with color either way. And then if you want to do the skip, we'd love to have you do the skip. Right,
because I will say the skip is after all the other phases of return, so we're going to save it for when people get back and they can participate as well.
And it's, it was thought of for young children, but it's for children of all ages. So if you would just like to skip for Jack, we'll definitely welcome you. And we're also making available on the website pledge forms. If kids would like to gather pledges for the skip and for Jack's Angels as an individual skipper, or if schools would like to create a group, we will be having prizes for our top pledge earners. So it should be a really fun event and hopefully help further Jack's Angels cause. I wanted to also say that our main goal moving into 2016-17 is really helping push the idea of prioritizing our children with cancer, especially those with 0% survival rates for decades, like DIPG, which is responsible for 80% of pediatric brain tumor deaths every year. Now, with brain tumors being the leading cause of cancer-related death in children, they are one of the least funded, areas of cancer research. So we're setting out to start a series of relay races, sort of like Relay for Life, but all of the proceeds go to our top pediatric brain tumor consortium researchers right here in California with their graduate students. And so we're hoping to start this new trend in philanthropy where we're funding the creativity of the scientists themselves and directly, hopefully with the utmost transparency. So if you would like to have more information about any of that, go to relayforkids.org. And for any of our activism running, which the Santa Clarita Run actually inspired me in 2014 to start doing that. That's information about that at runfordipg.org. And our philanthropy at fundingcreativity.org. All of these websites can be accessed from our main site, jacksangels.org.
Let's just do those one more time.
Okay. Fundingcreativity.org is our philanthropy website. Relayforkids.org explains, in conjunction with Funding Creativity, what our mission is with our events. Relayforjack.org is our first one, slated for May 28th, 2016, hopefully in DIPG Awareness Week again. And we're all of them can be accessed, everything can be accessed at jacksangels.org. Those are just quick, easy to remember ones for those looking for that information.
Well, Janet, Josh, thank you for everything you do and for sharing your story. That's as I said at the top of the show, folks, she's amazing, and God bless you. That's just amazing. And
Thank
the families
you so much
that you're
for
helping.
having me.
My pleasure.
I'm doing it for all of them and for all of you, because our children are our future, and we can never forget that. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Yep. And again, folks, come out and help us support Skip for Jack at the Santa Clarita Fun Run on Saturday, February 13th. You can call the Chamber, you can call me, you can call Janet. Please get involved in Jack's Angels Foundation's. That's a website too, right? JacksAngelFoundations.org?
Actually, jacksangelsfoundation.com.
Is it .com? Okay.
And jacksangels.org forwards to it, so don't be too confused.
And folks, if you've missed any portion of this show, you can always go back and listen to our podcasts, all of which are stored at hometownstation.com. Just go to the podcast section, pick the show of your choice. A lot of great information if you didn't get it here, but you can always call KHTS or myself to get those websites, and we can put you in touch with Janet and help support Jack's Angels Foundation. And that does bring us to the end of our show, folks. If you ever have a specific topic that you want me to address, please don't hesitate to drop me a line at Myles with a Y at comfortkeepers.com or Myles with a Y at agingwithpower.com. Either one will get to me. I will invite the subject matter expert to the show, and we will chat, we will talk, and we will try to help you through this journey. We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care, and I'm Myles McNamara of Comfort Keepers in Home Care. And remember, folks, aging is not a disease, it's a journey. So do it with power.